Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of a Levo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. Well, Dusty checks in with an update from Syngenta. Dusty.
I'm visiting today with Chad Thriewitz, and Chad is an agronomic service representative with Syngenta. We look at the 2026 crop year coming up. How should growers be thinking about weed control strategies, especially as it relates to fertilizer investment?
Input costs are up in many areas, especially fertilizer. And I think sometimes there's a tendency because of that growers may try to cut costs in other places, especially maybe in that crop protection expense and specifically herbicides. However, we've seen that, really those prerequisites for maximizing yield start with that good base fertility and then the clean weed-free fields before we can really start pushing that envelope in other areas. Why fertilizer prices may be down from a couple years ago at the peak, they're still relatively high compared to crop prices. So it's a strong investment that we've got to make in the crop really before we get started. And by eliminating those early season weed competition, we can help growers protect their fertilizer investment because, weeds do rob nutrients along with competing with our corn crop. Some research has been done that even 2 to 4 inch weeds, based on today's prices, there's up to a $20 an acre loss for growers when it comes to what those take up as far as nutrients.
As far as recommendations go, what products would you say would be good to manage some of those fertilizer robbing weeds?
One of the ones that we recommend is Acuron herbicide. Some of those benefits that we get with that product, we think about just starting clean and staying clean. Acuron herbicide, applied pre-emerge, we can get strong residual on large seeded broadleaves like ragweed, cocklebur, morning glory, those that really can rob yield. Also good on water hemp.
Chad, real quick, if growers want to learn more, where can they go for more information?
Growers can talk to their local Syngenta retailer or visit acuron-herbicide.com.
Thanks, Dusty. Well, let's keep it in-house. Ty's here with a look at some ways to use seed plot trials.
It has been almost a month since the federal government shut down, which means we haven't seen yield estimates or crop reports in some time. Kevin McNew is with Quantum Hedging. He and his team have a unique way to look at yield data and give some estimates to farmers across the Corn Belt.
What it really is, Ty, is looking at commercial seed plot data. This is from the major seed brands. They all do their yield plots and they publicize them. And so we've been collecting that data for now 6-7 years. The way we use it is to really look at how yields from seed plots have changed from one year to the next. And then we look at those changes and say, do those match what USDA says is going to be the yield change? We feel pretty confident that it shows when we see really problem areas or really good areas around the country, it helps us find those.
As for what he's seeing for the Buckeye State?
For Ohio, it's a good year. Is it a great year? Is it a record year? Probably not. 23 was a record year for Ohio farmers. We're going to fall a little bit short of those numbers on both corn and beans. We think Ohio yields will probably be 190 for corn, which is off from the 194 estimate from USDA. And for beans, we think beans will be about 55, just a slight lower number than 56 from USDA. So not record yields for Ohio farmers, but good solid yields, I think, is what we're going to see as we wrap up this harvest season.
You can see our full conversation online now at ohioagnet.com and on our YouTube channel. I'm Ty Higgins reporting.
Well, as farmers continue navigating a period of tight margins in volatile markets, the Fertilizer Institute is urging policymakers to focus on practical solutions. TFI President and CEO Corey Rosenbusch said the solutions need to strengthen U.S. agriculture, expand markets for producers, and ensure farmers have access to fertilizer exactly when and where it's needed. The markets, they're next.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Nearly 90% of farmers say that financial worries, constantly changing market conditions, and other uncontrollable variables take a toll on their mental well-being. Add in the weather and family dynamics, well, it's a lot to handle alone. But did you know farmers and their families can receive free confidential services from licensed professionals? Support is available 24/7 to help with the challenges you face. Look for Farm Family Wellness Alliance under the Resources tab at farmfoundation.org. Take care of yourself. Your well-being matters.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, December corn, $4.34 up 2. March corn, $4.46 3/4 up 3/4 cent. November soybeans, $10.80 1/4 up 2. January beans, $10.94 1/2 down 3/4 cent. December wheat, $5.32 1/4 up 3 1/4. At the Mercantile Exchange, October cattle, $231.40, up $3.90. December hogs, $80.77, down a nickel. November feeder cattle, $342.07, up $8.67. This is the Ohio AgNet.